Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about hair. I have been a hairstylist for almost 20 years and I distinctly remember the day that Olaplex launched. I was a hairstylist behind the chair and I actually read about it in like Allure magazine while I was on a road trip. I could not wait to get home and figure out how to get my hands on it because it felt revolutionary. Well, the things that we're going to talk about today are kind of just built on that initial science that came from Olaplex. If you do any kind of chemical services to your hair, or if you basically have, heat damage, or if you just have weak and brittle hair genetically, you may want to try a bond building product of some sort. So if you're new here, my name is Penny. I am a master esthetician. I am also a hairstylist. I do hope you'll subscribe before you go. And I also hope you will check the description box. I link my blog. It's PENN.SMITH.SKINCARE.com. I do all kinds of free skincare education there. I send out newsletters, tidbits, tips, tricks, tutorials, education, all that kind of stuff. So if you sign up on my website for the blog and you sign up for my newsletter, you will be on the list to receive regular skincare education from me. Okay, let's get into this. First of all, let's start out with what bonds are. I'm going to do this really briefly, but basically in our hair, which is primarily made up of the protein keratin, we have bonds that hold the hair fibers together. And depending on what we do to our hair, we can damage those bonds, break those bonds, and cause our hair to be weak, brittle, split ends, break, no, elasticity to it or anything like that. So we have a bond that can be easily broken by water or heat. That's why you can style your hair. And of course, if it gets wet in the rain or you take a shower, your hair changes its shape because that bond was broken and then it rehardens after you dry your hair and it's in a different shape. So that is a very easily broken bond that does account for a decent portion of the strength of our hair. Now we have other bonds that are easily broken by pH changes. So if you use shampoos and conditioners that are too high on the pH scale, that are very alkaline, then you can also damage the bonds in your salt bonds, resulting in more kind of structural damage, physical damage to your hair. And again, the same things, weakness, split ends, brittle, all of those things can be a result of damaging those bonds. Then we have a third type of bond called a covalent bond or a disulfide bond. Now, this is the kind of bond that we as hairdressers would actually alter on purpose. That would be when we're doing a chemical straightening or if we're doing a perm. Any of those kind of services actually alter the disulfide bonds. Let's say you're doing a perm. You roll the whole perm and you apply the solution that alters the disulfide bond. Now the hair is in a position where it's like, I don't know what I am anymore. I'm not in any shape. I'm not sure, but it's rolled up in a roller, right? You let it process for a while. It really breaks that bond down, those disulfide bonds. And then after a certain amount of time, you go in with a neutralizer over all of those perm rods. That neutralizer rehardens the disulfide bonds, but because they're wrapped around a rod, now those bonds are forming a new shape of the hair. That's how you end up with a curl that is permanent. That is how you can straighten the hair. You use a flat iron after you've used a solution that alters the disulfide bonds. You flat iron, flat iron, flat iron, then you neutralize it in that flat shape, and now your hair is permanently straightened. It's all about the disulfide bonds when you are getting any of those kind of chemical services. All of these bonds are responsible for the health of our hair. If we do too much of these kind of treatments, if we bleach too much, color too much, if we obviously straighten our hair too much, or we do perms, we can wind up with really hashed hair is what can happen. And it's all about those bonds, okay? So when Olaplex came onto the scene and the entire premise was treat the hair as you're doing some of these services to kind of reinforce those bonds. The whole thing is about sort of like insurance, bond insurance, and not like stocks and bonds, like hair bonds. Now, what we have is on the foundation of Olaplex, lots and lots and lots of other brands have come out with bond building products. Now, it's taken a long time, and it probably has to do with patents and legality and all that kind of stuff. But recently, we have seen a flood of actual bond building products, and I have some here to share with you. Now, I have crap hair. I just do. It was part of the reason why I became a hairstylist to begin with, was because I wanted to learn how to fix my crappy hair. So I am especially interested in all of these bond building products because I know how much they can make my hair nicer. So let's get into each one. First, we're going to talk about Epress. Now, this one it's from the original scientist maker of Olaplex, okay? I think his name is Eric Presley. That's why it's Epress. The way that this product comes is you get a spray bottle. This comes obviously empty. And then you get 2 little vials that you dump into the spray bottle. Then you fill up the spray bottle. You finish filling it up with, so this is one of the vials that you get. Well, like that. Then you fill up the spray bottle to a water line, and you just combine the water that you added to that vial in here, and you've made yourself a solution. It's a very, very simple solution. It's like 4 ingredients. I am not a chemist. I will say that again. I do not know why those 4 particular ingredients make up the chemical reaction of bond building, but I can tell you that when I used this, 100% I could tell in one single use that my hair was improved. So you basically spray this on dry hair. You saturate the hair from as much as you can from roots to tips. I focused mostly on like mid-strands to ends. And then you have to leave it in your hair at least 10 minutes before you wash and condition and then go on and style your hair. I did not put any oils in my hair, any leave-in conditioners, anything like that. And I could not believe how shiny and soft and just healthier that my hair looked. So this one is definitely a huge hit. As of right now, the only place that I can see that you can buy this is on his website. So I will link that. It is not affiliate. I do not have a discount code or anything like that. I'm gonna try and figure that out, try to find a discount for you and stuff. But as of right now, I will just link it so that you have a place to go so that you know where to find it. Okay, so that is the Epress. Next is gonna be Living Proof. Living Proof came out with their triple bond complex. Now this one's funny because I bought this one. I did not read the instructions. This was, I don't know, a month or 2 ago. And I didn't read the instructions, and I used it just like a leave-in conditioner. And I was like, that is like nothing. Like it was meh at best. I did not feel like my hair even felt like I had a leave-in conditioner in. Then I went and got my hair done, and my good friend who was my mentor when I first started doing hair, seriously 2 decades ago, she had this on her station. And I said to her, what do you think of that? And she said, I love it. And I said, really? Like I couldn't understand. And she said, oh yeah, how about I'll use it on you today? And I said, okay. And she said, well, when you put it in, you have to leave it in for a certain amount of time before you add any other styling products and before you dry your hair. Well, I didn't do that when I tried it out the first time, which is a note to self and a lesson to always read the instructions because they definitely make a big difference. She used it on me that day and I was blown away at how good my hair felt. I mean, silky and soft and manageable and shiny. It was incredible. Now, Living Proof says that this acts on all 3 of those bonds. And they say that because of that, it's like a 3D, you know, you've got your hair fiber. Let's say this should be your hair fiber, right? And the bonds are in the middle of this sandwich, right? And they say that all 3 of those bonds in a 3D fashion hold those fibers together. And they say that the Living Proof product repairs all of those bonds. I will tell you, this is an amazing product. Now, I use a lot more product than what they say, and I think it's important that you use it on damp to wet hair. The times that I have used this on just damp hair, I definitely, I don't know, I did not feel like it dispersed as well, of course. I felt like I used a lot more product because I was trying to get it through my hair. So really, if this is something you want to try out, Try it on damp to wet hair so that you can really get it through your hair. The other thing is you do not use any other products until at least like 10 minutes later. And so you want to be really careful, really wary of applying this along with some other stuff, because they say you will dilute it, you will not get as good of results. And that is definitely my experience, because I tried this a few times before talking to my friend about it. And there were times I put it on and then followed it up with a hair oil or, other things, not realizing that I was compromising how good this could be. So you want to use this alone, and this is after shampooing and conditioning. So that is the Living Proof Triple Bond Complex, which went from being totally meh to amazing, and it's all due to reading instructions and getting advice from a friend who does read instructions. Thank you, Allie. Okay, next is going to be a newer product from Coco Eve. This one is another one that says that it works on all 3 bonds, but this one is different. You put this one on damp hair, you work it through your hair, you leave it on at least 10 minutes. They say it works on all 3 of those bonds as well. You rinse it out, shampoo, condition, go on with your regular styling routine. This is another one that I absolutely could tell the difference after the first time that I used it. It does smell like coconuts, so you have to take that into consideration. Okay, next we're going to talk about K18. K18 is another one that you use as a leave-in mask. This one uses a patented peptide to help strengthen your polypeptides in your hair strand as well as your disulfide bonds. So this one works on that molecular level inside the hair. I am not sure how I feel about this one. I kind of go back and forth. I am going to give it another fair shot. This is the one out of all of them that I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. I mean, I just was underwhelmed by it. That said, there are so many people out there who absolutely love it, but this is the only one where I didn't notice a big change in my hair. I just didn't notice much. So that's the K18. It uses a peptide, a patented peptide, to help to rebuild your hair from the inside out. Okay, I wanted to share with you the actual routines that I've been doing and what I think have been working really, really well for me. First of all, this one, like I said, is fantastic. When I use this one alone and then I go through the shampoo process, I love how my hair looks. Now, when I use this one and then I put just a couple pumps of this one in my hair when it's wet, so I'm doing a double dip on the bond, repair, I'm honestly amazed. It's what I did on my hair today, and I know you probably can't tell, but my really tortured hair that is super frizzy, you guys, and it's gone all the way to super dark brown and then back, it actually isn't terrible. I didn't put anything else in my hair as far as like oils or leave-ins or anything like that. I did my typical shampoo with my Pureology Nano. I've been using that a lot because it's sulfate free and I just really like it. Or I use the Pureology Hydrate shampoo, both of those. A bottle is expensive, but it lasts forever because you don't use a lot of it. I mean, like forever. The conditioners that I've been using are same as always, my Subaki, which is forever in my hair arsenal. And then one that I've been using recently that I have been loving is by Rain Cry. This is the repairing conditioner with CBD. This one is so great, you guys. It really softens the hair, leaves the hair super shiny and super soft. So if you have coarse hair, you might really like that one. Abercrombie & Fitch had a fragrance probably 25 years ago, and it was their signature Abercrombie & Fitch fragrance. They have discontinued it a long time ago. That's what that shampoo and conditioner smells like. It is delicious. It smells so good. Now, I tried the shampoo, the repairing shampoo from this exact line from Rain Cry. It was okay. It's sulfate free and it's nice, but it's not as nice as my Pureology, but that conditioner was a massive find. I am also testing out their bond builder from Rain Cry. I will report back. I'll put in the description box what I think of this one. I just got this in the mail because I've been on this kind of bond building kick, but I haven't been able to give it a really thorough go to let you know. But definitely check back because I will, by the time I post this video, I will let you know what I think of this. Okay, the other thing that I have done, of course, is the Coco and Eve first, and then I have used this after. You don't need to combine some of these, but if your hair is super duper damaged, if you are somebody who does a lot of bleaching, if you do any kind of chemical services a lot, and you really are in need of rescue, you may want to go all in on the bond building. So doing a pre-treat and doing a leave-in cannot go wrong. Those bonds being strengthened will only lead to strengthened hair that is more resilient to your heat styling, to your combing and brushing, and obviously to your in-salon or at-home chemical services. You're just giving your hair a fighting chance of staying on your head and not breaking off. Okay, I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you are having a really wonderful day, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.